Hi, I have read Seascraper by Benjamin Wood. It was longlisted for the Bookers this year. A lot of people have raved about it, but sadly it never got to the shortlist. And now I've read it, it was robbed. It should definitely have been on the shortlist. When I did my sort of predictions, even though I hadn't got rid of although I hadn't read them all to have a sort of definitive shortlist prediction, if I'd have read it then, ready in time for that video, this would have been in my top 3, definitely. It would have been there with Land in Winter and Endling. Those would have been definitely my top 3. But it didn't. And I just do not know why it didn't get on there, because it is so atmospheric. You are there. I mean, you are there on the sand with this horse and cart. It's stunning. It's a short novel. It's about 160 pages, so you whiz through it. Set in the 1960s. I'm assuming it's 1960s. It feels 1960s. And we're on the northwestern coast of England in a place called Longferry. And our main character is 20-year-old Thomas. And he's a sensitive young man. He's almost a shy young man. And he works as a shanker, a seascraper, which is something that his grandfather used to do. And he sort of inherited the profession from his grandfather. And this is going out with his horse and cart at low tide, scraping the sand for shrimps. He goes out early morning when the tide is out. And if he hasn't got a big enough catch, then he has to go out at night as well. It's a very lonely profession. It's just him and his horse. And it's all weathers. He's there every single day, all weathers. So it's cold, it's lonely, it's dangerous at times because you've got sinkholes in the sand where you can just disappear. And he lives with his mother, who had him when she was 15, 16. Whereas in other books in the on the long list, Love Forms, the protagonist there had to give up her child when she had her at 16. This girl keeps him, and she lives with Thomas and her grandfather. The boy's father, nowhere in sight. He went off to war and got killed, but I don't think the grandfather would have let him anywhere near anyway after impregnating his daughter. So Thomas's father's never featured in his life, and Thomas has always wondered what he's inherited from his father. He's also the last seascraper because technology's moved on. A lot of the people who are doing this now have their trucks and machinery, and Thomas doesn't have the money for that. You get the impression that if there's not a big enough catch, he and his mother don't eat. It is very much a sort of hand-to-mouth existence that they have. And he's got this really strong bond with his horse. Whoops, upside down. Really strong bond with his horse. Excuse me, there's someone at the door. And I'm back. It's parcel. Book post, so I'll do that later. Where was I? Oh, hang on, I've left my notes. 1 second. This is a very disjointed video. I do apologise for this. Where did I get up to? I can't remember. Yes, he's got this bond with his horse. He can almost interpret what the horse is feeling, but he never gives the horse a name. It's almost as though by naming him, it will become closer to him. And because of the danger of the sinkholes, when the horse could just take a wrong step and disappear, he doesn't want to get too close to the horse, if that makes sense. He knows his grandfather did lose horses. And so he's got this sort of existence where he just goes out every day. And then a Hollywood director arrives on the scene. And he spotted Thomas. And he feels that this place is where he should set his next movie. So he pays Thomas to take him out to scout the beach and look for shots and things. And you've got a sort of almost a rapport between this very shy, sensitive young man and this over-the-top, almost loud American who's full of enthusiasm for this film. So you've got this rapport. And Thomas finds himself telling Edgar, this director, things that he's never told anybody, not even his mum, about the crush he's got on his best friend's sister. And about the secret that he's kept from his mother, because Thomas wants to be a folk singer. He wants to take people's breath away with his music. And so he's got this guitar that is hidden away. His mother doesn't know about it. And when she goes out, he practices, he sings. He's never got the confidence yet to go to the weekly folk club at the local pub to perform. But it's one thing that he knows that one day he'll do it. He feels that he ought to, and he knows that one day he might just do it. And so the plot goes on, and it doesn't happen the way you think it's going. You think, Thomas and this director, they're going to, I'm not going to tell you, but things don't pan out the way you think they're going to. And it is a novel that is full of atmosphere. When he's describing the mist on the sand, the mist rolling in as Thomas is going out with the horse, you're there next to him. It's a stunning book. And you get so close to Thomas, you really do. And this should have been on the Booker shortlist. And why it wasn't, I do not know. I want the judges to write to me and say why they didn't pick it, because it should have been there. But that'll never happen. So I will disappear, and I will finish this video, then start another one, opening the parcel that has just arrived. So, happy reading. Take care.